Greetings, everyone. I'm happy to be here with you to kick off the month of June, which has always been one of my favorite months. There are lots of reasons why June is a favorite of mine. I love the fact that June is the month that welcomes in summer. I love the fact that the season of outdoor dining is in full swing, and you all know how important socializing and dining is to me. June is also a very important month because it's the month of the MS ride, which is something that has been near and dear to my heart for so many years now. But before I talk more about the MS ride, I want to share a little bit about my recent trip to the Twin Cities. I had such a nice time visiting my mom, other family members, and friends back in my home state of Minnesota last month. It's definitely a different experience going back there now that my dad is no longer around. But of course, in so many ways, his spirit is still very strong at my parents' condo and throughout my life in general. What I'm especially enjoying on these trips to the Twin Cities since he passed away is the opportunity to spend more time with my mom and get to know her in a way I've never had the chance to get to know her before. I'd say our relationship is the best it's ever been, and I'm exceedingly grateful for that. In the past, when I've gone to the Twin Cities, I've always either flown or split the drive into 2 days. This time around, I decided I would try to tackle the entire drive in 1 day. And I'm really proud of myself. I definitely had to learn how to pace myself, to be patient, and to make as many stops as needed, even if that meant things taking a little longer. But overall, the drive in both directions turned out really well, and I look forward to doing it again later this summer. Speaking about being patient and pacing myself, I reached a decision about the upcoming MS ride. For the first time, I'm not going to even attempt to do a century ride. For those of you who are less familiar with cycling jargon, a century means to ride 100 miles in a single day. In the past, I've always attempted to do a century over the weekend, but over the last few years, I've been noticing how much that doesn't actually serve my body. My riding pace is not what it used to be, so to complete a century in 1 day would be nearly an all-day proposition. I am also greatly affected by the winds these days. If I've got a tailwind, it would certainly be possible for me to do 100 miles in 1 day. But with a headwind, no matter how hard I trained, I don't think I'd be able to accomplish it. Now, don't get me wrong. My first reaction to the idea of not being able to do a century this year sounded something like this in my head. Boy, that really sucks. I'm getting so old that I can't even do a single century ride for the most important riding event of the year. But after I gave it a little bit more thought and talked it over with my therapist and my coach, they both encouraged me to try to reframe things and reach a new level of acceptance. So instead, I decided that I love my body and I want to treat it with the same kindness that I would ask other people to treat me with. I'm really done being unkind to myself just to try to measure up to some arbitrary standard that happens to end in a neat and tidy round number. Maybe I'll do 47 miles. Maybe I'll do 63 miles. Maybe I'll even creep up to 81 miles. But at the end of the day, if I know that I did my best based on the weather conditions and the other external circumstances, then I will be at peace with my efforts. I am proud of myself, and I definitely recognize this new approach as a sign of progress. And I can't help but think that my dad would be proud of me too, with my ability to continue to adapt and change. As a side note, many thanks to all of you who have already contributed to this year's MS ride. Every single year, I am blown away by your support. If you haven't had a chance to contribute yet, there's still plenty of time. I will be sending a follow-up MS letter in the next week or so. If you don't receive my letter and would like to contribute, please respond to this email and let me know. Well, that's it for this month, my friends. Have a great month of June, and I look forward to staying connected with you in the days and months and weeks ahead. Ciao, ciao for now.